Don't let them reverse this. They're not doing this because I can get God to move. Well, God moves me and something else together. That's what it is. They're trying to reverse it. God and I are doing this because of what all of you have been doing and are doing. They psychologically tortured me away from dentistry and may have used some sort of substance in the injections. I'm sitting in a chair and a guy's psyoping me and harassing me. And then when the EMTs came in, he only showed him 2 of the vials when he had 4. I was lucid enough to see that. And they had been in there before. If I go seek health care or massage, I couldn't figure it out because it's, spycraft psyop. But what they were doing was increasing the psychological torture around certain things like seeking health care. They're committing acts of murder. Therefore, God will murder all of you. Well, no, it will be justifiable homicide. And I'm not God. Don't let them play that game where this is the psychology of more. So they kept me all cramped up for 4 years, and they're trying to solidify the disability. 4 years ago, I probably could have received the right treatment had you kept them away from me. I mean, this is going to continue and get louder. I was supposed to receive disability before COVID, a disability increase, which would have changed the entire future. I probably would have stayed in Oklahoma at that point to begin with. But the reality is, I didn't even go to too many massage therapy sessions. And last night I was able to unlock all of this pretty good, simply with the right kind of salt bath and the right medication. I had received some, before I got COVID, I had received some massages, so it did help. And again, there's a vision that I couldn't see. I didn't have the vision to know what to do. I just started massaging certain parts of my body because a spirit was in me, spirit of God or whatever it is, and it started working. But I'm still very sick. They got me with something. I scheduled surgery to remove a cyst, and they attacked. And they broke in here and wanted me to know they broke in here. And then I got very sick. Now, COVID was something else, but my body immediately began cramping up. So they used something to cramp my body up. God will rip your heads off and shit down your necks continually. Everything I told the administration, don't let them flip that around also. And everybody that flips it around will have their head ripped off and their necks will be shit down. Don't let them flip it around. I'm not coming against your administration trying to help you and advise you. Everything I told you was valid and is valid. Don't attack the judges. That's a threat to the republic and the separation of powers therein. If a judge has an issue, the court system will take care of it. You yourselves sued the Biden administration, and they went through it. Again, you come after yourselves when you condemn something like that. tell you, you got people in your administration that are like Rick Henry. Rick Henry was a Republican, and he killed Republicans because he wanted it all for himself. I'll name names, Stephen Miller. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. So you're going through a process. You could simply appeal that issue that's going on. Well, if I'd have got released like this, I probably could have got released a little bit more if they hadn't. And they may have been drugging me. That may have been the whole thing. I felt over the years that maybe there was intervention, because if I would leave the area years ago because they didn't have such a big thing focused on me, I would like almost instantly get well. So it simulates your back, just, over time getting bad or something like that, but it's actually them. Right. And they know they do that stuff. So again, we have CIA type of operations going against our citizens, and then they make deals with foreigners. Like the foreigners are elevated and we're destroyed. That's why H-1B exists. Our best people are found out and destroyed so the foreigners can be brought in here and take their jobs. I'm the most intelligent guy probably in the country, but I'm tortured, continually tortured. Because at this point, they cause disability beyond a certain level. Oh, I'm going to get medicated. You'll all get medicated. You yell get medicated at me. I'll just reverse that, and you'll all get medicated. So then something like COVID will come in here. Have fun in hell, all of you. It's going to increase. Thank you, Larry. There's nothing else God can do but cause these disturbances on your planet to wake you all up. Now, here's the answer. Whether you're Trump or Elon or anyone else, turn everything back over to God. Just utter those words and everything will work. You may not be able to do everything you want to do, all of you, but turn it over to God. Remove your wills. You're all willing things. That's what's driving you all mad, is you're trying to get your will. Because you are ignorant of certain things, such as don't attack the judges. I mean, you're going to attack the people that are going to sit on all this, and then you're going to impeach them all? Right. I mean, these are just standard processes right now. Guy makes a hearing 5 days later. Now, I would have immediately appealed the idea of destroying your work. Right. Don't just sit there and not destroy your work. Appeal it. You can even go to that judge and say, look, can we turn it over to a custodian? But you don't even want to stop your work for 5 days. You've caused people in the Biden administration to stop their work for 6 months. Right. And like people don't, what I'm trying to tell you is, and they're trying to make me sound dumb down with my speeches. Right. Because I called them, so I know what that is. The wilderness dumbed down. The people don't want that shit. They don't want to hear you all whining all day about judges. Because you're whining, all of you. You're all whining. I mean, you're billionaires and multimillionaires. And you me. Had they not been allowed to interfere, my life would have been just completely different. And in each stage, it would have been different, including when I was seeking disability. There's no doubt it was a setup. There's no doubt they laughed at me and denied the disability. There's no doubt. That doctor definitely had his psyop on. He was going to persuade me that it was what he said. Made no sense what he said. I would have probably, if this doesn't fix, I would have probably got the surgery 4 years ago if it didn't fix. Now, 4 years ago, it may have fixed with the right massage and all that. I mean, nothing would work. So it doesn't make any sense because I can tell now because they haven't been in here recently. I guess I went and I took a salt bath and my body just completely went bloop. Now, I mean, it's been cramped up for so long. They're putting shit in my food. There's no doubt. And they want to make me sound paranoid, but I'm not. They want me to know that they're doing it. And I'm stuck in an apartment without a bathtub, so it's harder for me to get to the bass. And see, they tried to rule out the bass, and they couldn't do that last year, but their shit caused it this year. There's no way you're all going to be destroyed continually. Believe me, what I say will continually happen because God's going to do it, because God's putting it through me to say it. And what's going to happen is it could be 5 years, could be 2 years, could be 10 years, could be 1 year, could be tomorrow. Something's going to break bad and destroy the entire nation. It's going to be in turmoil until you all change. That's what prophecy's for. I mean, these prophets that you have that are political prophets, oh, they'll stroke you and you'll send them $1 million for stroking you, but it doesn't do anything for reality. So again, the court never ruled that you are not allowed to work. The court ruled that you have to use cleared people. Not every cleared person is a Democrat Party member. Not every cleared person is. You have cleared people that are MAGA. Right. And like I said, you're under stress and constraint because you want to get this all done by the time you submit the budget. See, it's still, it's like, I can feel it tightening up at the top part of my back, which, then triggers the lower part. And again, this should have been figured out years ago. And it almost was. I mean, you can't let them be in that close to a U.S. citizen, especially a combat veteran and a disabled law enforcement officer. I don't want to hear I make too much money. You made it necessary for me to seek additional disability. And these are like multimillionaires saying that, just so you let you know, and friends of billionaires. Friends of billionaires who get paid money to kill people. You're all destined for hell. I'm just telling you all that. Now, you're the one because we made you into a big sinner. You need to find all of them. You need to dispatch them. They need to just go off the planet. They don't need to be here anymore. Keep your children safe. Get rid of the people that did this to me. Now I got to figure out what's going on with my podiatrist because I read the thing where they would bill my insurance company, but now they say I have to pay $800 today, cash, or charge or whatever. That smells of the deep state. That's how they operate. Anybody? I mean, there's Nazis and all sorts of shit in the doctor's worlds. They say, well, he's a Jew. Oh, okay. I mean, they use that one. I laugh at all the stuff that the rich Jews say about how they're persecuted. Right. By somebody at a school getting upset. I've been killed for being a Jew. 100%. That's just tightening it up a little bit over here now. Well, I haven't had all the massages either that I could have, and I haven't had any quarter, and I hadn't any no steroid, and it released. I had steroid treatments before, and massages, and it didn't release. And then I didn't even seek any treatment for like 4 years. Why? Because they keep doing this. I'm not moving because I'm manic or I have a disability. Although, of course, I did to see if that was it. They're doing it right now. That's why I don't know if the mold readings are real. Because they're trying to get me just to jump out of here and move. Now, I could do that before, but I can't do that now. But they've made people move and they just leave everything and they jump out of their apartment and they run off and get like a $10,000 judgment against them. Right? Rottenest people on the fucking planet. They'll be destroyed. Everything that was wrong with everybody else where I work, they try to put it, oh, it's him. He's the wrong person. But it has nothing to do with that at this point because it moved way past that. And I praise God for the sleep I got last night. My sleep was slipping away because I kept burping. Right. I don't know what changed it, but I was able to get, I woke up a couple of times in the middle of the night, but I was able to go right back to sleep. One time I changed the side of bed and the side I was sleeping on. I should have been getting massages continually. Every last one of them is a murderer seeking to murder somebody that they're paid to murder. And it's psychological murder, but I guarantee there's physical murders. I think there's more damage than previously, but I feel right now kind of the way I would feel before I got my treatments and before I got massage. So we'll see if I can pick it up to the point that I can survive. None of this was supposed to be done. None of it. Zero. All I have to do is let me live my life and restructure my life to something better. Because all these things, oh, he's a loner. They force you to be isolated. You know how many friends I would have made just in the ones that I reached out to? And for me, all I need is a wife. Again, they know it. I'd just get a wife, I'd go to church, and that would be it. Decades and decades of it. I thought, the worst would last a few years. I'd find a woman and, I'd have a life. There's no reason for them to do this. There was no reason for them to do what they did to me in the government. They have a system that they use, and you know what it is, all of you, but it's supposed to be used against certain people. It's not supposed to be used against other people, and it's not supposed to be used to discredit people that are good people. Right. This is a sick apartment. I got to get out of here. Like when I was healthier last year, I spent a lot of time outside the apartment. That kept me pretty healthy. No, last year I was able to get into salt baths, frequent enough. This year I couldn't get into them. I just couldn't get my tub going. I actually recently grabbed it and set it up, and I still was blocked from it. So again, when I'm buying Epsom salt, they're cursing the Epsom salt. Again, if you don't let them stalk me, then they can't do that. They can do that from anywhere. The agents watch every purchase because I'm the most dangerous man on earth. They even screw with my purchases on Amazon. And it's not a test. Not a test whatsoever. Again, I'm disabled. It can't be a test anyway. No, you're not that good, all of you. you. In fact, you're murderers, like I say, so don't try to transfer this into something else. Sexualizers, murderers, disablers, and sexualization is a form of disabling. No, they are actually causing. They're not testing. They're not reputable at all. You know, the history of investigations is questionable. Now, some of you have committed crimes. You're like, well, they're the ones that protect me. No, they don't. They're the ones that put you in bondage. They're the ones that maybe caused you to commit the crime to begin with, and then came along and feared you, and then came along to save you. Right? There's a possibility that people, spies, manipulated Weinstein so they can get money from him and have them under their control. So they sexualized Weinstein. Then they come in and go, we can save you from your sexualized problems. Right. See? Thank you, Larry. There was no reason to do any of this. I was healing everybody's community, and they knew it. Right. If I couldn't get well 4 years ago with it in this condition, right, and being able to release it on and off, then I would have probably got the surgery, and I had, these were good locations where I was getting surgery. I was a healthy enough guy compared to what this is the point. They go, well, don't get surgery. I'm thinking, well, maybe some people got surgery when they didn't need it. Right? Because as far as getting worse, I don't think it can. Thank you, Larry. And they psyoped my brother and everything. Because what was going to happen is I was going to go to his place. I didn't feel like taking the drive initially. I wanted to just try some other place. I went to Colorado real quick. And it didn't get better in Colorado. So parts of my back that were soft are starting to harden now that I'm standing up and I'm walking around. So, I mean, these inserts are part of it. No, it's them. They just watch me. They will stuff. They block this. They harass me there. They harass this. If I meet somebody today, they'd harass that person away by tomorrow, or pay them, or whatever it was, or even forbid them as cops. You got to realize that MAGA is infiltrated by deep state, and they're going to play this game and tell you somebody is persona non grata. That's where you all went wrong. It's a scam. It's a deep state. You're not going to be. They're going to tell you it's bail reform. It's dirty cops taking money to allow narcotics distribution, narcotics smuggling, and sex trafficking, as well as other people. That's why it's happening. That's why we can't get rid of it. I mean, there's just no way that it comes in any other way. So an example would be you could have a MAGA sheriff in the middle of Indiana, a MAGA sheriff in the middle of Kansas, a MAGA sheriff in the middle of Oklahoma, a MAGA sheriff in New Mexico. And these are safe havens for narcotics distributors and sex traffickers. But all day they go pound their fist on the table. Right. Cops are not happy with their pay. Years ago, they would go get real jobs. Now they do narcotics distribution, or allow them. Again, many aren't going to go to the point of distributing narcotics, although some have. They're just going to, give that safe haven and get their kickback. Well, if you weren't it, you know what? If you didn't attack my life, I wouldn't even think it. But it's obvious now. You're the ones that connected to me. I mean, the Marshal Service is, we do sex investigation. This guy's on our list. I mean, what kind of shit is that? They should be torn down and beaten to death for doing that. We'll see if God can get that on. Maybe one day the Marshal Service will be destroyed. Putting me on their sex criminal list while they try to sexualize me to the tune of millions and millions of dollars. I mean, think about that. Instead of just letting me live my life, they paid millions and millions and millions of dollars to do this to me. No, it's a scam. There was nothing going on in that workplace where I was doing anything to anyone. It was absolutely opposite. Right? The snitches are them, but they snitch about things that aren't even happening, like Jussie Smollett. Rick Henry said Jussie Smollett. Karen Shelton said Jussie Smollett, but yet they pointed at me. I mean, I got out of the way. I said, okay, you want everything in the world and you want me out of the way? I'm gone. But but you got your retirement. You weren't supposed to do that. Well, I'll show you what you ain't supposed to do in hell, all of you. And some of them are in hell. I mean, obviously, the FBI does not want what's coming. Right. But again, the administration is screwing it up. I mean, you're just as bad as they are almost. You're not supposed to do it that way. Because what you're going to do is empower them to keep their job and maybe get some money in the process. And again, if you do it right, many of them will keep their job and they'll probably be okay employees. Right. That's another thing, getting that pecking order right. Because you have nobodies who are ignorant in high places in the government. Because why? Because they're beholden to the deep state and will do whatever they say. Because they can't work their way into a decent position. No, I said nothing when I left. I said, if anything, I said, well, I was actually helping. I said, there's a couple cells of corruption. There's, it's not, the government is generally whole. And I guess back then it probably pretty much was. Right. Because people would say the whole government is corrupt. And I'm like, no. So again, this bullshit that they bring up that I'm saying something. Who wouldn't say something after you did what you did to me, all of you? You sicko pieces of shit. Just wanting to happen to anybody. Right. You're not even supposed to want it to happen to a criminal. It's in the scriptures. You run around, we're Christian. We're Sikh. We're Hare Krishna. We're Hindu. We're Islamic. Not a single religion on this planet is acceptable to God and will be destroyed along with the planet itself. Now, the planet may just become inhabitable. Yeah. Could organism come along tomorrow and kill every person on this planet within a week. That week's probably quick, but within a reasonable period of time. Your science sucks, all of you. Elon's not rescuing any of you at this point. He has no idea how to keep you alive on Mars. Maybe even during the trip. Many will perish. Now, what if the rocket blows up? I mean, do you realize what you all risked to be evil? No, it's because you're all evil. That's why this is all happening. Again, remember my scripture that I used. They're going to build them a tower to heaven. Thank you. So again, I should have been in surgery already. Should have been fixed. Right. There's no way that I should have been where I was. No, I had this thing licked. Had it licked 100%, and they tortured me for years upon years. So I wouldn't go to the massage. I pushed through. Like they say, all he's got to do is push through. All he's got to do is push through. It's the only real massage place in that city. You did the dirty. And they were trying to sexualize me in there on top of it. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. I mean, it might calm down. I don't know. But, it's not, the structure's not seeming too well right now. But it feels like the biggest problem is coming from the top of the back, which would say ablation surgery or ablation procedure, which I was so close to receiving. I was just too sick. And again, they willed it down. You have to realize that the metaphysical exists. But this is the weird part. I'm causing they'll say I'm causing the planes to crash, not God, right? And of course, God is using me to do that, to make you stop harming. Remember, they're killing everyday poor people all day long to make millions of dollars as cops, PIs, marshals. trying to sexualize them into crime by torturing them. Right. So you see how they do, but there's no, but God's not this, God's that. They have half a denial. Then when it's convenient, they go the other direction. Well, you probably shouldn't have been in my life, any of you. I probably could have lived the rest of my life peacefully, like I was, in massage therapy, just having a little podcast of, telling people positive things. Well, before they took me out of massage therapy, they were already there. They were already hiding women that were interested in me, playing the hide and seek game, trying to get me to stalk them. I mean, these are shitty people, man. And now they're embedded everywhere, and they're getting USAID. I agree about the USAID thing, but Elon may not be the person authorized to clean it up. It's just the way the world works over you. You can't buy your way places in government, although you can, but there are limitations. Like you can buy your way to a place where you can authorize it, but you can't do it. Right. Well, the simple thing is the head of the Treasury, you all kind of want, that was not the intention of the order. In other words, he wasn't blocking. Get out of the campaign mode so you can get intelligent and do this stuff intelligently. Bessant was not blocked specifically, or whatever his name is, Scott, whatever. So the judge wasn't blocking him, but the judge created an order that did block it. But it's only a temporary order at this point. And why don't you do a background investigation on Bessant and actually get him cleared? Or did you all not intend to have anybody investigated? Because the president can appoint them. I'm just not sure what you're all doing. And maybe that's why you're so upset, because none of you will pass an investigation. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who any of you are. I just help you. Haven't helped me in life, that's for sure. Some of you may have even killed me. I mean, they're trying to take my head over right now. They'll be destroyed. No, you're not doing this to me because I'm doing this. Obviously, I didn't start doing this. Obviously, I don't willy-nilly do it like you all do. Right. Yeah, go away. Oh, I'm mad because I want to rape children and rape women and boys and men and everything. I just rape everything. I'm even kids and dogs and dogs and kids together, right? I mean, they're disgusting, man. That's their will. Everything that they try to say I am is actually their will and their psyop focus. Correct. They just get madder and madder because they force somebody else to do it. Like all those people that are on that Beck's list, they willed that up at a minimum, if not psyoped it. And they're mad because I'm not on that list now. They know I investigated them. They know I investigate illegal pornography. They know I come up with the best theories of how to fix it and everything else. But they're not in the game of fixing it. They're in the game of playing a game with it so they can make money to soil somebody or to make themselves famous in a fictitious protection racket way. All you got to do is stay away from me. And remember, in 2014, it already went on like 20 years at least. Actually, longer than that. But they like 22 years. So it didn't just start in 2005. Right. Again, there's evidence it went on longer, but when there's a delineation, right, of when I went into the civilian government, they increased because they, I guess, had increased reach. Right. And they all became famous people in government. Everybody did. Generally. Right. Unless they didn't want to be famous. Just wanted to be fuck offs and run around and don't even go to work. Yeah, no show employees are deep state, that's for sure. Or a lot of them are. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And they're doing shit, so I can't, they'll block all the older women. So again, you're going to gravitate towards whoever you can speak to and whoever's nice to you. So the older women will be mean, the younger women will be nice. Right. No, I mean, it's just even stressing somebody out every day. They go, well, if it wasn't a criminal, he wouldn't be stressed. That's bullshit. You tortured me, tortured my family, stole my life. No, there's no reason for them to do any of it. I agree. But there's actually no way to do it, to seek healthcare, to do anything if they will it down beyond a certain point. You just can't get there. So again, the psychology is just icing on the cake. Right. So again, I'm going to go back 4 years ago. I should have received the surgery if that was the answer. But the answer I sought required me to get my back free so I can see what the hell it was. Right. Because I knew with the way my back was, I intuitively knew there was no way that any of that was going to work. Like that's what I'm telling you. People are going through surgery for the lower lumbar and other places that their back's not free yet. You have to try to free it, and then you can see. But just because you free it doesn't mean that it's going to work. So again, I probably should have went in and got that procedure, but I was probably psyoped around it. Who knows? They might be using ultrasonic messaging now. Right. I mean, these are sick people, man. You need to rip their heads off and shit down their necks all day long. Now, what you're doing in the government isn't going to do that because you're playing a game. 100%. So you have to get back to a more stable process. Barr knew that process. The problem is now the Attorney General is less capable to set the tone. You're letting Elon set the tone. That's where you're going wrong. The mission is noble, but the tone is wrong. I'm not in the government, all of you. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a millionaire even. I don't even have a good life or even an okay life. So don't compare them to me. I have a right to use the words I use. Right. But yet, I can tell you in government, and have told you in government, what the right tone is. People like Elon, they cause people to have lives like mine. So you're lucky I even help all of you. But there's a whole world of people that are affected by that one man's actions. Right. Anybody that has a spycraft entity that harasses anybody is going to hell. And obviously, Elon doesn't give a shit about humanity. Right? And he's got ulterior motives. But yet, I can work with people, just like I worked with the people in the government that tried to kill me when I was there. Right? Elon might actually be a narcissist. I just heard something say that, but I'm not sure, but he might be a narcissist, closet narcissist. Right. Well, he cares about humanity, so he can't be a narcissist, right? That's typical narcissism. Right. He obviously plays for good publicity and has been doing so for a long time. Well, you can watch what he does to figure it out. Now, by what's being said, the tone, and how it goes in a different direction, that's what narcissists do. This is like if I spoke about them investigating me too much, they would run off and do a real investigation to prove their worth and that they're really real investigators. I think what happened is when I was cramped, it cut off a lot of the pain. Right. But I don't know. Maybe if I get to relax, maybe I'll get somewhere. And you know, somewhere along the way, you probably relax better than it was at any given time. But again, the stress that they're applying, right? There's some sick people, I'll tell you that. Could be drugging anybody's food. That's how sick they are. And I mean multiple people's food. All they care is they don't eat that food. That's really who they are. And I thank God for the sleep I had last night. Finally, sleep was comfortable, more comfortable than walking. Right. But more, it was actually more painful to try to sleep than it was to actually walk down the street. But now walking down the street is more painful, I believe, or even walking in my apartment here. I have to try to come off of caffeine again because my stomach, I have no idea what happened to it. I got to make sure I do everything I can to fix that because the sleep is really important. They're sick people, all of you. And they did remove files out of my VA file. Their paperwork. Because I was claiming, like, if they would have gave me Persian Gulf syndrome disability at 70%, right, in 2013, the whole time would be different. They would have never been able to do that. I would have just got up and would have been. I probably would have lived in Arizona, which would have been more difficult to do what they did. Correct. So I could afford it, and it wasn't that expensive. But and then I would continue on and massage and those type of things. I mean, this is decades, man. It's actually 3 or 4 decades that they did it. Their ideas where I'm a cold case killer, that's a scam, man. You should rip off their heads and shit down their neck every day for that type of scam. Well, you're not helping the president. Believe me, it's what makes the mess. It's a scam. You need to give me 70% VA disability, and it needs to get here today. Actually, we're supposed to be here days ago. But we're gonna roll with the same mentality you all have. You let these cops do me all those fucking years. Same cops that cover for narcotics distribution, sex trafficking, narcotics smuggling. They're the reason Trank exists. If I was in law enforcement, my mind they couldn't even get the Trank. Wouldn't have even been created. See how it works? Just put all the criminals in law enforcement and watch crime flourish and say, bail reform, it's bail reform. Woohoo, woohoo. Let's all parrot that. Bail reform, woohoo, woohoo. Dirty cops, that's what it is. Dirty, fucking dirty cops. Federal agents, state, local. And their informant, narcotics distributors, and sex traffickers. I guarantee you, narcotics distributors and sex traffickers are on the informant payroll. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you. I guarantee the government pays them as contractors. That's probably part of how they do it. Right? They're government contractors. Well, they're good people. But my stomach might be repairing it, and they just messed me up because I didn't take my Nexium this morning before I ate. Right. But again, something like that is still it's effectuation of their will. The will exists. It's a living thing. Right. In fact, some of you are actually doing the will of like cockroaches. Well, because they love eating human bodies, so you wage war, and then the human bodies get eaten by the cockroaches. Right. All you had to do is stay away from me. I mean, it's like so simple. Wasn't saying anything, wasn't doing anything. Didn't even have a life at a certain point. It didn't look like I was actually trying to have one, right? Otherwise, trying to meet a woman. Well, you can't meet a woman. We don't allow Juden to meet a woman because you'll make children and then you'll procreate. You'll procreate and make children. We don't allow Juden to make children. Right, Hughes, Henry? Shelton, Quick? Shoveling, Goodridge? Why can I say this? Because they were in my life. They all signed on. Well, get some money, right? How many Marshal Service task forces did you send after me? They put me on a sex criminal list. It almost, you got to wonder, did they make that movement because they could get at me and continue the fraud? Right. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how evil that is? First, trying to sexualize and turn somebody into a sex criminal, and then moving into sex investigation just so you can get that person. I'm that big, all of you, and that's obvious. I can pretty much tell right now if I got this fused spine, this would not be happening. I would be probably healed, but I couldn't tell all those years because I couldn't get to the treatment to unlock it to see it. No, there was a time that I never would have needed my spine fused, and it goes into the last 10 years. Right. I mean, they know they can do this. Why? Because they've done it to other people. Like I told you, so there's people 5 years older than me, 10 years older than me, 20 years older than me. But I'm a special case, right? Because you don't let anything happen, right? Yeah, isn't that amazing how you get off on it, right? Wow! Look at the power! Look at the power of the ball! Ah! Whoever you are, you're going to hell. If you're Elon Musk, you'll end in hell, and you'll be there for every dollar you have will be a year you spend in hell. How many billions does he have? They're real. Everybody's seen them. Right. 2 years in Kansas, dirty cops and their dirty informants and everybody else attacking my life. 2 years. A disabled veteran, combat veteran, didn't touch anybody's kids. They did. Every time they say it about me, be sure they're hiding a crime, and it's mostly pedophilia, or most likely pedophilia. Right. That's the game. That's what how Satan pays them. Put the pedophilia on someone else, and you'll get up. Oh my God. Right. Because what's their system? You're only guilty. I brought it up years ago. You're only guilty when we say you're guilty, and you're. So what do? They get big people like Trump and go, "You need us because we're going to make we say who's guilty and who's not guilty." But they were setting it up from the beginning, right? No, it's the way to feel comfortable for now. Been there before. Hopefully, I get somewhere where I can feel comfortable. Don't have any money to move. I'm stuck in this apartment. Right. Oh, they've been trying to make these traps for years. Well, maybe you don't care because you don't fly in planes, and maybe you're not a rich person in your own small plane, but God's sending the messages to the people He needs to send it to. For all we know, Air Force One could crash if the president was involved. I'm not telling you he is, but if it needs to be healed, I won't see it. I'll tell you right now, I can't heal it. Don't have the power of God to do it. God doesn't want it done. Now, to you, you're like, but what does that have to do with you? Believe me, there's a message in it. God showed me that by showing me some of the information in the other planes, especially Learjet, Philadelphia. That's actually the neighborhood it went down in is one of the neighborhoods I was healing when I was there. And I'm sure there's dirty cops in that neighborhood and dirty people in that neighborhood. Right. That's before I knew they were following me like that. I mean, I knew people were following me like, I figured it was just FBI, right? And then it was Springfield, Missouri. Right. First plane, the plane in the helicopter, Black Hawk, which isn't that much, but Kansas. But then it talks about a computer system that I described some years back. No, the point is, I've already told you what to do to fix before there was even this group of tragedies to fix the air traffic control and all that. What kind of computer system? There's no way that plane shouldn't have independently. That plane should have independently swerved away or told the pilot, "That's it, we're going up." Right. There's no reason. It wouldn't even need to do that because the system of in that plane should have said imminent collision. I mean, it warned the pilot, enough time to go up like he did. That pilot could have did that with the system I described 30 seconds to a minute earlier. I mean, it boggles the mind how stupid you all are. But of course, people like me are killed. Correct. I agree, Larry. I mean, they just had to stay away from me. I mean, everybody knew I had disabilities, not just a disability, disabilities. But their scam is that he's not disabled because I'm walking down the street or riding a bicycle. There's no doubt that they gave me PTSD. Right. But I'm not like Elon because they say Elon has PTSD. I'm not the guy going into government with PTSD like that. Right. I'm the guy that came out of government. So I had illegitimately got disability, but you gave me PTSD with intention. But your PTSD was designed to get me to kill myself, like Jonathan Luna, that you gave PTSD to. I saw him in the courtroom, and I even told. I said he seemed okay. I think I said in the before, but he just seemed a little off, right? Or maybe I didn't say it. Maybe I later came to that conclusion thinking back because I was interviewed. Right. So she wants the wench that's stalking me right now. You know what she's doing? She's willing me to be mad over the fact that I have this disability and to curse you all madly, to say I'm a madman. And if I use curse words, I haven't hurt anybody. I mean, this is how the bullshit cases go. They always hurt somebody. I didn't hurt anybody, and I've been tortured for like 30 years, like this level. Right. But I mean, there was in PSYOP before that, right? And blockage of life. I mean, they're psychos, man. They just hand it off to the next person. Do this person. Do him. Do him. Like, I don't think rookies I mean, most rookies don't realize that your bosses are murderers. And they're murdering people, and they're trying to design you to be a murderer. They're not even supposed to be online watching me. They should be fired for watching me. Correct. So find them and fire them today, Trump administration, if you're real. Correct. Attempting to cause further disability in a disabled person. When's the snow's not going to start today, isn't it? Right. My neighbor woman put her windshield wipers off her windshield. I thought this big snow was supposed to start tomorrow. No, I'm in a lot of pain. A lot of pain. They did it on purpose. I mean, just stressing me out the whole time. I mean, come on. That's not legal. Oh, if I would shut up, that's a lie. It's designed to make their victims speak out. I said nothing, suffered in silence. Right. So here we are again. Could have been a drug that they administered when I scheduled surgery because they refused to allow me to, because they murder me. Like if some people I'm sure have cancer and they don't go to a doctor. They have a heart attack, don't go to a doctor. I've been there where I had something and I can go to a doctor because they freaked me out. This is not happening independent of the people I speak about. If you infer it, you will go to hell. Every last one of you will end in hell. You will go to hell today. Ya ya rar. Ya ya ya. Vahotama. This is not your standard mental illness. It's being operated every fucking day for decades. I mean, it's got to involve millionaires and billionaires, but again, people in government are millionaires and billionaires. You see this USAID, they shift the money out. Like Elon may actually be part of that. You know that. Like now they went after him because he changed his tune. So he may have received money from that years ago. Right? That type of thing. So again, I'm not here to be ignorant to the fact that Elon is a recipient of even Democratic Party money. Right? I mean, it's just insane that he comes in like the hero. I'm getting sick of his shit. He's screwing it up for everyone else. Because DEA, ICE, FBI, although he hates FBI enough that maybe, or you all hate FBI enough that maybe they'll prevail. But maybe not. Because if Cash takes it over, then it'll be your FBI. So you have to go in front of these judges. Every day there's a case. And you're just going to diss them off. You let them go, MAGA funny, it's a MAGA funny. I messed up. You didn't mess up, all of you. You committed felony crimes and tried to murder me. And are still doing it. I could have been a healthy man, very healthy man, for the rest of my life. And even when ill health came, I could have took care of it in a timely fashion like everybody else is allowed to. Don't you believe what they're telling you? You know, the real serial killers and the real rapists, they're sitting in great lives. And they pay you a little bit of money and they get off the hook. In fact, anybody that's doing it to me, is a serial killer. No, it wasn't what I said. They can't get their one. But you did say it, right? Bullshit, all of you. See, that's the scam. Torture somebody for decades. I probably was quiet longer than most, right? If not all. Torture the person. Torture them until you get them to say something. No, we're here to say something. We're here to say something. We don't leave. They're going to pull you out of your cars and kill you if you don't stop, all of you. No, Trump's not going to. It's obvious that Trump's not going to be the people's person. So the revolution's going to start in earnest. And you cops are dirty as shit. And the people know it. One of them find it funny. Remember, they're healthy people, man. They're living healthy lives. They don't need to be desperate about anything. Right. Oh, I sound like the CEO killer? Why, did you create him? Which one of you created him? What city does he come from? Let's look at those dirty cops. And those dirty feds. And those dirty fusion center power. Dirty fusion center. Federal agents, federal government put those fusion centers in every state. Same as USAID money. It's an extension of the criminal enterprise. Face it, your state and local cops are deep state. Garbage and trash and shit. Playing their game out. Oh, look, 911 call. Woo! Aren't we your heroes? Aren't we wonderful? My officer, saved this dog. Just like the Nazis. Just like the Nazis. Look, aren't they wonderful? Zig, 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 zig! Right, Elon? Zig! Zig Elon! With a face of a nutbag, of a fanatical Mengel. Elon's murdered. He sent people out to murder. He's a sicko piece of shit. What you saw when he did the Nazi salute is the real Elon Musk. But Netanyahu knows he ain't in trouble. He got enough money. He's got his protection. Right. Elon is a Nazi, and he's killed people, or at least tried. Now, you're either going to fix what's broke in my life, or this discussion will continue. You're going to at least get me somewhere where I can think about getting well. Correct. And you're not going to do it without me. That's for sure. Correct. What you should do is try to rein in the bullshit. Well, there's really no truth to what the president says is the truth, okay? But maybe he doesn't see it, and I think that's what it is. Number one, you don't need Elon to do it. No mission in the world is only available to one person. No, the spies and techies wouldn't let them stop. Right. Yeah, he held all the money, held all the keys to the promotion. It's a combination of techie, spies, FBI, Marshal Service. I mean, we're just talking about somebody just having a quiet, peaceful life, and that's it. That's all I ask for. A healthy life. Right. I didn't say, I set you up. Can you imagine what they're projected there? I set them up. What a bunch of fucking shitbags. Any cop that does what I say is garbage. There's no doubt. Right. So you torture me, and that alone will cause what this is. Right. For decades, man. Oh, we saw him. He had a good life. What's he talking about? Marshals, we saw it. We're here to witness it. Just the stress alone will kill you. Correct. They focused on heart attack and stroke. That's how I knew people in the news that would say something and they die of a heart attack and stroke. It's just like Putin killing somebody, if he in fact killed those people. Right. Thank you, Larry. So again, I'm trying to help you understand what Pam Bondi already knows, but she can't say if you don't accept it. Right. Great, Larry. The judge's order is inconvenient, but again, you did the same thing to Biden, all of you, right? Probably even more so. So the judge schedules a hearing in 5 days. Like I said, the only thing I find to be in question is the look. If the Democrats take something I say up in their talking points, it's a psyop to get you to hate me, right? I have to say I have to say it for it to work, right? So the only thing is you appeal that part of it, or you even go to the judge and say, Judge, could we do something different? You're just sitting there like idiots, insulting all the judges. Correct. And not investigating all the judges like I am, or all the cops. But if you do that, you're a piece of shit. Now, I didn't see any messages pop up. I'm looking for messages to pop up on my phone. It didn't pop up. Maybe I got to check my other phone, actually. Thank you, Larry. But they know what phone I'm on. Thank you, Larry. Notice how they cause cop suicides. It's part of what I investigate. Thank you much. Thanks, Larry. They can do it on, like, the cop, like it's on the cop's phone. All this, it's news feed, ad feed, that kind of thing, and like some of the posts that are directed at them. It just has a certain spycraft message, but they're also witches, so they're in the cop's head. No, I'm not suicidal. I'm speaking about it because they're projecting that, so I can see it. Right. But there are also like messages will pop up when you say something. Right. About trying to get me to kill a cop or something, I guess, or kill myself, kill a cop and myself. That's why murder suicide's prevalent. Is because that's what they psyop a lot of. Well, because they want the victim to be like a murderer or rapist, but then they want the victim to kill themselves, so there's no loose ends. Right. Kind of like that detective case. No, obviously, if I know now, I would never came to Kansas City. Right. It was a setup. Right. That's why it's obvious they willed it because I couldn't get to Manhattan, which would have probably been better. Right. Manhattan, Kansas. Definitely was a place I should have just drove straight to and said to hell with it. Right. Correct. There's a certain level of tightness in my back that if I got rid of it, might be better. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, it's a deeper down tightness, and we'll see if we can get that released somehow. It's kind of hard this morning. I'm not drinking any coffee or tea. My congestion is horrible. I got to get out of here. Really, I just can't. They got me all stuck. They laugh when they get me to buy stuff. Right? Nah, they get me to buy it. Then they crash my life. They probably did drug me. So they're going to have all this stuff. My apartment's a mess, and it looks like I can't get anything done. Then they make me sick. Right? Yeah, good possibility that they do something to do this. Right? I mean, they're not beyond anything. Well, your attorney generals generally speak about the court battle. Now she's got to back Elon. She's part of the machine, right? Now nobody actually backs cops. They back, their cop, right? A lot of these people with these spy entities kill cops. Well, I can't just rush off and do something. I got to go through some modalities to see if I can get this better. And then I got to figure out how to get all this stuff out of my apartment and, either into the trash or given away. Right. Please. It's over. Not going to be around here. You're all dirty. God will handle it. Now, believe me, the first time this happened, I'd make a phone call. I'd get a representation that the VFW or some veterans organization would get something together for me. Then they'd make their phone call and promise whatever they promised. And then, oh, no, that's not what we said. We didn't say we were going to help you. We just thought we were going to, maybe look and see if we can find something where you can help yourself. They did that in Texas. Correct. What, do you think I missed it because I didn't say anything? Sorry. 4 years ago, they did the same thing. They just did whatever it is. Right. It's most likely a drug. Right. They were in here. Not a single cold case will touch me because I'm innocent. In fact, my behavior is not the behavior of a cold case criminal. That's first off. Second, they do, see, he knows. That's why he's different. No, he's running a psychological operation. I'm innocent. 100%. No, we're going to talk for hours upon hours. We got plenty of time today. I just got to go off and get one doctor's appointment. You're going to come in and drug me when you come in? When I go out of me, you're going to come in, let's get him. Aren't we fucking cool? We're like the biggest spies in the world. Can't get comfortable. That's what they do. They'll be beaten to death in hell. I can already see it. Over and over again. Because remember, it's not the person that they're torturing into becoming some violent person. It's also the victim. The victim becomes the victim. In some cases it was them, but in most cases not. Right? So they have to be beaten to death the way they're the victims of the person that they freaked out. Remember, they're creating criminals out of thin air. Oh no, we found them and we knew they were criminals. Don't let him do this. You know who we are. We've helped all of you. I even told him when it started. I said, just keep your money. I don't care. God doesn't care. Just get rich. Just don't hurt people. That's what I told him. I didn't give a shit about your money. God gives a shit about your money. Just don't help people. Everybody's crooked. Everybody who's got money is crooked. So why not you be crooked? And probably that's all it would have taken in the real world, right? To say that, to let me go, right? No, you never let me go. Or I'd have a wife. I mean, they let me go for 2 years. I'd have a wife. Probably even 6 months. Right. Well, they know what they're doing. And so does God. I thank God for the sleep, but, discomfort in the morning, yeah. Just glad it isn't worse, and I thank God for that. Don't thank you. You want me to thank you? Is that what I have to do? Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. No, it's becoming overwhelmingly obvious that I should have got the surgery 4 years ago because there's nothing else that would work. But now I'm 4 years older, 4 years less healthy. All murderers, all sex offenders. You ever willed a woman to sex, then you're a sex offender, all of you. In God's world. It's nice that you make this little world, fake world, all of you, and then say it's God's. And then you get to say what sex offending is and isn't. Well, God finds anybody that wills anyone to sex a sex offender. That's probably most men, right? Most agents, for sure, are trying to will their victim to sex. Let's get Elon under wraps. Let's get him undercover. Let's get him under control. If you can't, you need to move him on. I know his money's nice, but it's ruining the bigger picture. Correct. Let's not attack the judges. Every day, the administration is bringing cases before judges. You impeach one of those judges for a legitimate process, and I guarantee you'll have the worst years in court of any administration in the history of the world. Now, what am I doing? Am I telling judges to do that? No, I'm with judges in the mind, and I'm explaining it. So you don't do that. Just like I've did the whole time. I've never steered any of you wrong. Correct. Don't do that, because later that's going to come back on you and you're going to have to live a tortured life because you've committed a crime. Now, I didn't commit a crime. Oh, he said tortured life and crime together. That means he committed a crime. Right, psychologist? Where's the FBI psychologist? Who are we using now? Kansas State psychologist? All criminals, all sex offenders, all murderers. There is no, do you know why I did this? It doesn't exist. That's what they want to say inside, or they projected some ultrasonic. It's a brainwashing to make their victim believe that they are justly being killed. They spend decades brainwashing their victim. They're using ultrasonics at this point. When I knew when the CIA just laughed off the agents being killed with ultrasonic and everything else, I knew it was over. Right? I thought maybe I still maintain my health. They're murderers, man. They just murder people. They don't do their job. Like, if you murder somebody in the course of CIA business, that's one thing. But to murder somebody in the course of your own bullshit, it's just bullshit. It's not even real. Oh, we're killing a very dangerous person who's... For all I know, it was a person that was obsessed with Jonathan Luna's girlfriend. Because they killed Luna, and they killed me. Oh, my God. Or tried to, at least. See, I don't know the truth of what she was doing trying to pick me up. I don't know that. Right. No, she came into the courthouse and tried to pick me up. She's in a cell block, looking at her phone, looking at me lustfully. Correct. So again, it makes sense it was somebody that was obsessed with her. But of course, I'm the one that's obsessed with her. So whoever's investigating me, if they're affiliated with her or in some way has ever been affiliated with her, that's your Jonathan Luna murderer. Even if it was a psychological murder. I could have been somebody in Silicon Valley. Right. I thought she was a gorgeous woman, but right. No, I definitely need to get out of the Kansas City metro area, and I probably, if I could have, I would have probably last go round. If I didn't focus on building the arc fireplace and all that. But again, I may not have gotten to this point either if I left here. So again, it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. Well, because I was able to get to a point where I got massaged, I got released. I mean, it should have happened 4 years ago, but at least it happened now, right? Not 4 years from now, right? The problem is I can't get my brother back to where I had him and I wasn't manipulating my brother. He agreed that I could live in his basement for a while. That was perfect, right? They operated him. And I could tell it was no longer valid. Right. And he tries to play it off. I mean, I'm sure it's a CFO that's a lot of what he does or did in his life. Right. I'm sucking this leash. Now, if he gave me my back pay and my pay, then it would work. So again, God's going to destroy this planet, crash planes and everything else until you get where I tell you to go. But that's wrong, right? Then why did you do it to me for 30 years? Actually, bullshitly did it. There was no place, there was nothing I needed to do, and there's no place I needed to go. There's no doubt the government needs to pay me. There's no doubt. All right. Do I need to let out the pain I'm feeling right now? Do I need to let it out? Oh, I should be on drugs? Fuck you and fuck your drugs. You fucking narcotics distributors. Fuck you and fuck your drugs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cursed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Arar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bahotama. That was their goal the whole time. Put me on narcotics. Mary, I'm sorry. You're cursed now, all of you. Because you had the thought, didn't you? And let them laugh because you have your health. All them little girlies you put into the massage envy. Right. Probably FBI agents and the such. DHS agents. It's a scam, all of you. Right. It was a scam to ruin my health. Well, try to get me to do something sexual, but they couldn't. Right. But I mean, we're talking about like 2013. You've been doing it since like 1992 at least. 1992, man. You motherfuckers. So here we are, 2014. Well, we got to test him a little bit more. We only been testing him since 1992. It's a scam. And if you know it, you'll go to hell with them. And willful ignorance doesn't count. Like, well, I never heard you talk about this, so therefore I'm not responsible. You're part of the system that blocks me from getting anywhere to tell you something or tell anybody something, then you're responsible, all of you. No, they knew I was sick. They knew when I went to the Sikhs, like that was it. You know, I was lucky to heal. Right. I actually, in faith, I went and lived with the Yogi Bhajan Sikhs, and you know that was an act of faith. I didn't know if I would ever heal. Right. But again, they probably willed me there. We got that. We got them. We got our people in over there. Get him over there. Oh, and he's stupid. And he says he's stupid. He's stupid. I mean, those names I named are people I worked with, man. They were that deep into the murder of my life. I mean, when I left the government, all you had to do was let me be. I have no idea what the fuck you all were doing. You thought I was going to be somebody? What? See, that's the biggest scam in the world. They thought I was going to be somebody. How am I going to be somebody? We have to go ruin his health because he's going to be somebody? Or get married? I mean, who made you all think that you get to do that? Next plane. I can help you fix it, but I got to do what God says as a prophet and curse you all for what you're doing. Give me the money. You owe it to me. I know people are making you afraid, so you won't give me the money. So God makes you afraid, so you will give me the money. So let's not play a game here. Correct. They're making you afraid, so you won't give me the money. But it's wrong for me to say God's going to make you afraid for not giving me the money. No, I am with God. That's been proven. We don't even listen to shit of people that murder and sexualize and obsess over Jonathan Luna's girlfriend, so they kill Jonathan Luna and me. So what was going on when they killed Luna wasn't a deep state indoctrination. So everybody was having something happen, but there were certain people they were just going to kill. Oh, I'm sure they spoke to Rick Henry, and Rick Henry said, "Yeah, kill that guy." Spoke to Karen Shelton, because Shelton said, "Yeah, kill that guy." Right. But they said that years before that happened. That was the scam. They screw up everybody's life, and they launch one of those. Now, if you want to survive, you have to do what they say, because they have all the information, dossier, and all that. Right. But of course, once you get put in, the dossier disappears. Right. Any evidence online disappears. I told you before, all of you, stay away from me. Let me live my life. I told you, if you take my health, it's going to change. And it's been changed. It's been the craziest planet for the last, 4 years, 5 years. Yeah. It's been the craziest planet for the last 5 years. But you know what? All along, people were being killed overseas in the United States because they kept doing this to me. We could have won all those wars, but you can't win when you're a devil, when you're a Silicon Valley and a CIA hanging out together, killing innocent Americans. So again, remember, the people coming in to say they're going to clean up everything are part of the CIA death machine, killing U.S. citizens. Now, we're not here to forget that Silicon Valley is part of this thing. And God may have revealed the ones absolutely responsible. We just don't know. Oh, doesn't Elon run squads that go and harassing people? Isn't that a Weinstein thing? I personally believe Trump doesn't actually do much of that because he doesn't prevail. Right. Right. They, no, they're always Trump's the guy that always gets charged and stuff. Right. Do I not like Elon? No, I don't hate Elon. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help Elon do the right thing. Yeah, it'd been better if 2 years ago I could have got to this point, or even 4 years ago, and then I could have got all my shots and all that, and I wouldn't have grown to this big monstrosity. I really don't care if you give me my money. If you give me my money in my arrears, and I don't care. And I think there's a lot of people that believe that too. No, I'm not the only one here. Oh, this is crazy. I'm gonna keep talking. So I'm supposed to be embarrassed and not speak, right? No, I know what happened. I know what you all did. I know where it went wrong, what you did to me, and I can see now. Right? Maybe it's because I'm lacking the drug, whatever you used. I was the inference in the head was the drugging was just medicating a crazy person. I mean, this is how their little Third Reich does it. No, Netanyahu's not a Jew, man. Netanyahu's a devil. Face it. Right. I didn't say I support Hamas. I didn't say that in that statement. Well, maybe Netanyahu wants to take interest in my life, right, and fix what they broke. Thank you, Larry. You all can have money to me within 24 hours, and you all know it. Just say for my work. You appreciate my work, and you give me the money. I've seen that he's helped people over the years. He might be a little bit, different than everyone else, but he's helped everyone. So here's the money. That's simple. Otherwise, God can continue. What? That's how you say the world runs, isn't it, all of you? Am I the same as you? No. You all don't have God. Right. You all hire people to go out and break people's lives and their backs and everything else. Been in pain the whole time, really, to a certain degree. I've never been well for years. Been disabled, retired since 2004. All you had to do was stay away, all of you. Because you have to understand, when I get married, my life takes a different course. That's how life works. You have an intersection that moves you from the tragedy. You or not, that's from congestion. Were you getting excited it was something else? That's what they're doing. They're all getting excited. So they took that little quiet guy that said nothing and walked off and caused all this commotion. They think it's funny. No, what happened is in the workplace, they all had baggage. So they hated me because of their baggage. Right. And again, once you call my wife, of course, you don't want me around. Right. No, I mean, every time I go to a massage or a doctor, they start the psyop again and they drug me. You see, it involves drugging me. So they block me from doctors, they block me from healthcare, massage, gyms, all the places where people would be endangered. There's nothing else to do in my life. Can't lay down, can't sit down comfortably. It's not because there's something I did. They want to act like it's something that I did on the internet. Right. Meanwhile, when the people actually did that on the internet, they're living great lives. Only till I said something about what was going on did they start arresting the teachers and the people in the churches. Right. Good. They want to. Well, we're all arresting people now. So what does that mean? That you actually did it before I said it? And for all I know, those are people you create. Right. So say you're arresting people. Now, they weren't arresting people in the churches. They weren't arresting the teachers. They were deep state. Right. Look, I know the deep state. I couldn't even believe when Pastor Hopkins and his wife started, or his wife at least, started psyoping me. Right. Now, Pastor Hopkins was pretty cool when I came back. Said something decent. Right. He said something about like we grow in life and da da da. I mean, he said something really cool. And the next thing I know, they're stalking me. So from then to when they stalked me, some dirty cop or dirty PI talked to him, probably offered him some money. Right. Thank you much. So I was really prepared to go back into the Fundamental Baptist Church. I felt there were things wrong with the contemporary church to a certain degree. Right? Experience didn't turn out to be what it was because they were like psyoping me. Right? I mean, even in the middle of the sermon. Right? Thank you, Larry. Bless you, Larry. So I was like all prepared to go back to the Fundamental Baptist Church. Pastor Hopkins said something great. Right? I'm thinking, you know, and in fact, believe you me, and it just they wanted me to go help Nisley. And again, I don't have to marry Nisley's daughter. She was a little bit young, right? But definitely a beautiful young woman, and she had just graduated Christian college, right? But again, I know God is so, and like because God said, I mean, it's always possible, right? Especially in fundamental Baptist world. Right? Well, you always see older guys with younger women, right? But again, the older we got, the less that age difference. Again, I have a whole totally healthy life. Right? So again, I would be traveling with the evangelist. Right? Well, they needed money, and I had a little. I didn't have a lot of money, but I had a little bit of money to help them. So he said, "Well, just go with them, help him, and help them with the wife." And so, but I was going to, I'd have to stay in that church to develop. That wasn't going to happen that weekend, or whatever it was. Well, Mr. Nisley happened to be in. Now, the weird part was Mr. Nisley was wearing a tie that I wear. So that was really weird. Now, maybe it was just seeing, I didn't like obsess over it because I couldn't tell if it was real or the deep state, I'm like, is he deep state? But maybe that's the sign from God to say, yeah, he's an evangelist, you're an evangelist. Right? Mr. Nisley and I had the same tie. I wasn't wearing it that day, but I'm like, that's my tie. It's just he got that tie. Well, his wife had some sort of, I don't know, I don't think it was a stroke or it was a stroke. I can't remember. But she was relatively young and she was handicapped. Let's not forget that's what they're trying to do to me, too. The whole time, try to stroke me out and give me a heart attack. Right. Thank you, Larry. No, I'm actually like what's happening now. It's still not 100% because I got to get this upper left back handled. So the ablation might work. I don't know. Right. But I'm seeing the relationship and to fusing the spine relationship. I couldn't see it. I'm like, fusing the spine's going to fix this. Right. Oh, thank you, Larry. And it actually cramped up a certain way that I could be in less pain and walk. Right. Which you've heard that done, but it wasn't. It's not like Biden. If you look at Biden kind of walks straight but stiff. This was like off kilter, left side down, right side up, and then it was affecting my digestion because something on the lower back was tightening up, and it was probably blocking a neurological thing, right, going to the stomach. Because the bone doesn't have to do it. If you get tight muscles off of the bone, it could actually block another nerve because it's constricted. Right. Oh yeah, I couldn't see how to do anything. They were just too much in my life. Right. I was really thinking about the surgery. Right. I mean, Monica Maurice wanted to help me. She says, "Okay, look, why don't you come here, get the surgery? It's like Santa Fe, and I'll take care of you." But I couldn't trust her because when I got injured, she just totally hung up the phone on me and wouldn't talk to me for like 3 months. So again, they triggered her. They were that close in. They had us all that wired. Something's actually saying that I need a shot right in the back there to release that. So I don't know if the epidural comes first or that comes first. Or see if it gets released at least. Right. I mean, I should have been able to get to that 3-4 years ago. Right. Now, he did give me a little shot there. But again, I didn't get to the massage like I was been in. So, no, it's pretty rough on the left side of my body right now. I'll go right and the left and the right. This wasn't supposed to be done, all of you. I'm supposed to just live a normal life. Please, I'm sorry. I mean, there's no sorry for something like this. I mean, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, maybe. I mean, not even 1 year. I mean, let's get back to reality. You're all trying to steer what I say. Get your minds out of people's lives. I'm not here to play that fucking game that the Bible doesn't exist and that Scripture doesn't exist and metaphysics doesn't exist. We're not here to play that game. Correct. Not even 10 days of it. Not even 10 days of it. Period. Fuck. Thank you much. You know what they're trying to get me to say? That somehow 5 years is okay. But again, not even 10 days is okay. But after 5 years, why don't you let somebody go? Because he said, don't take his name off the list. Don't take his name off the list. Don't take his name off the list. So again, we have it in government, we have it outside government. We're not going to play this game. Elon's dirty. He's Democrat. He took Democrat money. Right. Not here to play that game. If he turns over a new leaf, fine. But at this point, he's destroying our ability to do anything because the judges will destroy our cases. Right. But again, last time I checked, Elon believed in free use of drugs. Right. Well, that's his inside. So you're letting this man be the power of or have power in your administration, and maybe it's convenient, but he doesn't believe that we should eradicate drug distribution. That could be why people are coming after me, maybe including him. %. I don't know what he does. He's definitely deep state, or was at least. Correct. Look, I didn't abort my child. I didn't, because they say. I didn't let my kids become trans people because they say. Right. Right. He did. But again, what you're doing, all of you, is really lying about me, lying about Elon. I mean, year after year after year after year, same thing. He gets nothing. No, that was not life of what I had. That's what leads to this. Right. Well, give me a second. I'm going to put some stuff on my back. I mean, what am I supposed to say? They use cops. You're the prime mover of it. You fear people from being around me. You fear women from being with me. And that's okay, right? Because they paid you. I appealed to everything that was appealable in another human being. I even allowed you all ways to improve your lives. Not only allowed it, I empowered your lives, made your lives better. There are people that have actually committed the crimes you say I'm committing everywhere, living great lives. Of course, I didn't commit those. The agent will go, "Oh, see, he just admitted to it." I mean, some of these agents are like 25-year-old girls, man. They really are. But of course, the boss wants to get in good with the girl, right? So everything she say is now, "Oh, you're such a genius agent. We'll go with that." But the boss wants the sexual relations with that young lady. So again, it may have been a SAC that was obsessed with, or somebody like that was obsessed with Jonathan Luna's girlfriend. Or even a CIA person, because I think she had some connection with CIA. Somebody inferred that. And of course, where she is in life now, she most likely did. He might have killed Jonathan Luna over her. Maybe he's still killing my life over her. They're psycho, man. Well, I was through enough physical harm in life that you could have walked away and said, it's just not worth it. We're going to, make too much. I mean, if you had any level of appropriateness, you're going to make too much pain, too much suffering. But no, you had to just keep pushing, right? Look, the people in Santa Fe were put into place by spy masters, right? Whether it be FBI, DHS, state police, it doesn't matter. And they kill people. They're murderers. But they don't kill the criminal. But yet claim they're killing the criminal. Well, because everybody they use is a criminal. Used a ton of illegal immigrants. Right. See if I get that left back to relax, though. I might have to go into a bath. It's going to cost me a little bit of money, which fits with what they desire. I'm sure they're looking that my electric bill isn't as up as high as it used to be. That's the way it goes, man. All day long, that kind of fucking stalking. How can we mess something? And you want to know what happened to the country? Oh, I mean, Elon Musk was a Democratic Party baby. Right? Made billions from him, I guess. Signed the paperwork for his minor child to use hormones. I mean, he's railing against it, but I never did that. In fact, my test would have been to abort my child. I was in the same situation. I was 30. I wasn't even 30. I was in my 20s, I guess. Even younger. More impressionable. And I was supposed to abort my second child. And Satan made her hate me. Right? But she didn't know that her life exists because I pushed through. Denied Satan the ability to abort that child. Gotta wonder if there's any abortions in his life. I guess he's so anti-abortion it wouldn't be, right? But maybe that's why he does it, to cover the fact that he aborted some children. Maybe he feels bad for aborting a couple of children, so now he just makes children. I don't. Again, we're just having fun, right? We're just helping the world. So again, get out of my life negatively, come into my life positively. Thank you much. And remember, they're attacking me every day. Right. Correct. There was no way for me to even think of anything. I mean, decades, man. 2 decades when I left the Marshal Service. But I left the Marshal Service because they already been there at least a decade. Right. Now, I need some competent medical care. Right. I imagine I would have got to Philadelphia, and if the discussion led to other medical care, I would have went to other medical care again, and maybe got to this level of release. I mean, it just boggles the mind. No, these are like 25 to 30-year-old girls. I mean, they're just like girls. They're not even mature. Right. Maybe even 23. Who knows? I mean, you do 4 years in college, you're cute, you get in the FBI, you reign the world at 23 years old. I'm telling you, I'm serious. Well, because the boss really wants that bad, woman or man. Or though it could have been a Silicon Valley hit, or probably combined. So social media is actually anti-social media. Right. Well, there's an opportunity that this could fix, but I have to go through this first. No, I don't know. It's going to be on my body. God wants me to let you out. Somebody's praying. Right. Thank you, Larry. But he could be a devil. I mean, anybody could. I'm knocking him out of the way so I can be the big. I probably should have been the big, right? But you have to fix everything. You can't go in. The president, who talks to the president? Do you see my, somehow get the information to me whether you see my stuff? I mean, you've got to send somebody that says they see my stuff. If you have to, send somebody that says, I see your stuff more. It can't be, I guess they could do that too, but, well, because you hit on social media, but they can do that. Right. I know you don't have to do everything I say, obviously, but you're missing the point on a lot of this. The president, okay, maybe it did. Well, they could actually pass the message too. So again, you should just send me my money so everything can work. Right. Well, the president kind of said, well, we have this time constraint. It's actually a self-imposed time constraint. Right. And it may be legitimate, but right. I believe it's self-imposed because you have to get to you got a budget coming up, and you gotta be able to know what you need, right? And right. So in other words, if you cut enough money, you're not going to have to increase the debt limit. Right. Right. I told you for years that it was fraud, waste, and abuse. There's even fraud, waste, and abuse you can't see with that quick audit that you'll see later, probably. Right. But again, you can't kill it, so you can't that the mission doesn't effectuate right. Thank you. Now I got to get out of here. I definitely do, and there's a chance that there's ultrasonic in here. I don't know if there is or isn't because I deal with metaphysics. And there's a lot of projections coming at me. Right. I've told you that for years. And when I say ultrasonics, I don't know for sure. Right. Thank you, Larry. Boy, this is like a horrible place to be right now. It's just disgusting. This apartment's sick. Probably sick the whole time. But when I get out, like when I was getting out a lot during the day, then it doesn't affect me as much because I'm outside. Right. Now there's no way actually to lay down right now. It's too much pain. I'd have to lay on my side, and if I could just sit, it would be nice. Maybe if I get in the car, I could return some of stuff. I got an appointment today, and I don't even feel like I can make it, but I got to. I got to actually call them. I'm probably going to change phones here. Actually, I'll be back in a bit. I got to call them and find out because it says I have to pay $800 today. That doesn't make sense because they told I thought they were going to bill my insurance. I mean, it's the same bullshit all of a sudden, right? Stay peaceful, praise God, and all you do, praise